Good morning and welcome to Awakening. What is it? Adventures in Awakening. I keep wanting to say Zen Fits. So I used to give talks called Martini Time, so now I have my coffee in the morning. So I'm not drinking a cloudy martini. But I do continue to riff or meditate upon the wisdom of the monkey martini, which is there's two monkeys here and here. Which is the real monkey? Which is the one? Is it two or one? So let's look. The title of this talk is Am I Innocent or Guilty? Innocent monkey or guilty? Which one stole the banana or whatever? Did you do it or did you do it? No, I didn't do it. No, I didn't do it, you see. This is a question that is basically the root of all of our entertainment, all of our mysteries. Everything is basically the question of who did it, who's innocent, who's guilty, who has to pay, who got caught, who's responsible. Who did it? A lot of jokes about this. The mother comes in, all right, who took the cookie? And all the kids say, I didn't do it. He did it. Whatever. So this seems to be the root, even with Jesus hanging from the cross. Is he innocent or guilty? People that crucified him said he was guilty. We all say he was innocent. But what did Jesus think? He didn't complain. The whole story about Jesus is that he went willingly to the cross. He welcomed it. He wasn't dragged. He wasn't made to confess. He went willingly. So he went willingly to carrying this cross. So what is this cross? All the suffering of Jesus and everything. Oh, he's carrying this cross, and he's Mel Gibson movie, and everybody's crying because Jesus is suffering and he's innocent and the Jews did it or whatever. And, it's all this, poor Jesus. And yet he willingly did it. He didn't have to do it. That was the question. Well, if you're God, just say you didn't do it. You're innocent. But he willingly did it. So what does that mean? What does that mean? You see, that really is the root, really, of this question: am I guilty or innocent? See, even today, and the big, people say, well, there's institutional racism, and some people would say, well, I didn't own slaves. It's not I'm innocent. Well, whatever we do, in the British mysteries, when the evidence mounts and they finally catch the murderer, they always say they had good. Well, I didn't have a choice. Well, the suffering was so great. What he did to me was so great that I had no choice. I had to kill him. Or it was an accident. I didn't mean to kill him. I had good intentions. I didn't mean for him to die when I hit him with that brick. You see, I didn't intend that. So I'm innocent. I'm innocent because I didn't intend. Well, nobody intends to do evil. Everyone has good intentions. Hitler had good intentions. He was going to save Germany. He was going to save Europe by making it all one Europe and end all the European wars and everything. Stalin had good intentions. He was going to make Europe communism and end all the wars of Europe. No, when everything is one, there's no war. Napoleon was innocent. He had good intentions. The British Empire had good intentions. They were going to bring order and civilization to all the heathens. The Baptists have good intentions. They're going to bring Christianity to the pagans, to the Chinese, or wherever they go. So we're all innocent. The Jehovah's Witnesses have good intentions. Everyone has good intentions. So nobody's guilty. And yet everybody's guilty. So here's the problem, you see. It's the way we look at the world that's the problem. Now, we look at the world like it's, and I use this metaphor, Newton's billiard table. You know what a billiard table is? Or say pool table. I think billiard tables are bigger. But a billiard table is a table full of balls, things, nouns. The universe, Newton's universe, it's full of balls, things. And they all bump into each other. But nothing moves unless it's caused by an external force. If there was no external force, the billiard balls would just sit there. There has to be a player. There has to be somebody who racks the balls, hits the rack, and makes the balls fly around. And then he goes through the game, you see. But the player's not on the table. You see, the player is not on the table. You are not on the map in Newton's universe, you see. I mean, you may say, well, I'm a ball and somebody's knocking me around, but I'm innocent. You see, some other ball's hurting me. He's guilty. I'm innocent. I didn't do anything. See, I'm not the pool player. I'm just a ball, and the world's knocking me around. And I have good intentions. I'm a good ball, you see. It was that other ball that hurt me. You see, I didn't do it. I had good intentions, you see. So the billiard table idea of the world is that of a bunch of things that are standalone things. But if you look back, but the player, you know, the viewpoint of the player is that it's all one field and all the balls are one, you know, whenever the player, hang in here with the metaphor, whenever the player is shooting, there's only one ball, and that's the one he's shooting. He doesn't shoot the whole table. He's just shooting one ball at a time, but every one ball he's shooting is the whole table. It's all interconnected. In the player's mind, if he's a master pool table, he's able to see the whole table as one field, not just isolated incidents, you see. Anyway, I hope I'm not getting too far off from my point here. The point is who's guilty and who's innocent, and going back to Jesus. So Jesus is kind of like a metaphor that is impenetrable, or it's unknowable. It's a mystery, you see. That's why this cross thing with Jesus hanging on it is kind of like the center of the Christian faith, because it's unknowable. You can't really figure it out. You can't really pin it down. You can't really make it logical. And so the logical people say it's all a bunch of crap, you see. It's not logical. But then the faith mind says, well, it doesn't have to be logical. It's a matter of faith. So you get two different viewpoints, but it really doesn't solve anything. It's just which one do you choose, you see. But the real question is basically me. Am I guilty for the sins of my father? Am I guilty for my past actions because I had good intentions, you see? So basically, I'm always trying to figure out and confirm that I'm innocent. I really didn't mean to do that. You know, I didn't mean to hurt you. What's my intention? Facebook is full of this. This is where I work. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on your toe, but you did. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that and hurt you, but you did. So we're always trying to excuse what we didn't intend, you see, because we all know we're innocent, and yet we all know we're guilty. Yeah, I did that, even though I didn't intend it. I did. I don't know why I did it. It must be some pattern. You know, must be some neurosis. There must be some unconscious or something. We'll go into Freud and find out why you did it, or you go to any school, psychological school would give you a different slant on it, you see. Or you go to non-dualism and say, well, nobody did anything. Nobody's responsible because nothing exists. Can't help it. It's just funny. So we're really trying to get into this problem, of innocent and guilty. And the problem is our logic. And the problem is the worldview of Newton's worldview, where everything is caused by something else, you see. On the pool table, nothing moves unless it's caused by an external force. Another ball, or the cue ball. Use the cue ball as the culprit. If the cue ball hits you, you're going to move. You're going somewhere if the cue ball hits you, you see. But every ball said, well, the cue ball did it. I didn't do it. Flip Wilson was a great comic in the 60s, and his stick was, the devil made me do it. But everybody says I'm innocent because some other cue ball did it, you see. Well, this is the fault of the pool table view of life. We're all one table, and we're all interconnected, so we're all the one ball, you see, split into many balls. You have to look at it from two different viewpoints. Each of us is humanity split into many humans. Each of us is the cosmos split into different things. Each of us is life split into different faces, you see. So each of us is the one and the many. Each of us is the one ball, and each of us is the many balls. So from the viewpoint of the many balls, you say, well, I'm innocent. But from the viewpoint of the one ball, I'm guilty, you see. So this isn't logical. So our logic can't figure it out. Our logic can't figure it out, but some people do. And when they figure it out, it's called compassion. When you have compassion, you feel responsible for all humanity. And yet, you're not going to save. Let's get into the Bodhisattva vow. There are four vows. There are four vows. The Bodhisattva vow of Zen. The first one is beings, sentient beings, without number, I vow to liberate. Now that is illogical and impossible. So people, it's just a bunch of Zen crap, you see. Innumerable beings I vow to liberate. Well, you see that, if you look at it from Newton's pool table, it doesn't make any sense, because how can I, one ball, liberate all the other balls on the earth, the ants and the rabbits and the humans? I mean, they're multiplying faster than I can save one. A million have just multiplied. So what does that mean? You see, it doesn't mean anything. Unless you change your viewpoint. So if you realize that you are humanity, if you are humanity, the one, there are no other sentient beings. You are all beings. And yet at the same time, you are many, one of many beings. So you are the one ball and the many balls at the same time. But you see, logic can't go there. So drop the damn logic. Drop the logic, drop the words, drop the nouns, you see. This is a realization, you see. And so basically, this is where Christianity just can't go there. Because what we're looking at here is that Jesus is the one that is the many. Jesus is the one ball that is the many balls. So Jesus is innocent, but because he's God, but by being man, he's guilty. So Jesus is innocent and guilty, you see. And that's the mystery. That's the mystery God and man. Jesus is God, well, or Jesus is man. Which one? If he's man, well, then he's just a teacher. If he's God, well, then nobody can touch him, and I can never be anything. I can't, he's separate from me. So there's the problem with the logic, the way we think. Newton's pool table. That view of the universe as a bunch of pool balls was created in the 16th century with Descartes and Newton and Bacon and Galileo and all the scientists that made the air conditioner that we like now, you see. This world, what we live in now, was created because it was looked at as a pool table, and you can fix everything on the pool table. Anyway, so we're kind of like playing with this idea of, am I guilty or am I innocent? Well, if you did it, you're guilty even if you had good intentions. The law works like that. If you hit somebody and you had good intentions, you weren't trying to hit anybody, you're going to pay, you see. So the law, limited as it is, you see, if you did it, you're guilty. Well, if you're human, you're guilty from this wider viewpoint, you see. And if you can see that you're guilty because you're human, and we're living in the karma of humanity, you see, all of the actions and choices of humanity, all the way back to the caveman or garden or Adam and Eve or whatever, you see, and this is kind of like a viewpoint, is a karma. Now Buddhism doesn't say sin. Buddhism says ignorant. Now Christians say sin, But basically, it's ignorant to the full picture of being human. We're ignorant because we are human. We hurt because we are human. We suffer because we're human. So we're all guilty of being human, yet at the same time, we're all innocent. Now, how you put those two together is going to be a discovery. Nobody can tell you, you can't read it, you can't believe it, you can't find it somewhere. You have to discover it. And when you discover that, we call it compassion. Compassion is not empathy, oh, I feel your pain. Compassion is being the other person. So you're being not the other person, but you're being all of humanity. So this is the great role model of compassion. Here's one right there, Emmett. See that little clown there? Whoop, right there. Emmett Kelly, the sad clown of the Barnum and Bailey circus, you see, famous clown. But what he there is he's the expression of compassion for he sees the sorrow and the suffering of humanity. And he is that. He doesn't like, oh, they're suffering over there and I feel your pain, like Clinton. I feel your pain. No. Compassion is not feeling somebody's pain. Compassion is being the others. It's oneness. Compassion is the oneness before it becomes many. So both the one and the many is compassion. The joy and the sorrow. The guilty and the innocent. All as one, you see. So anyway, I hope you were able to enjoy the monkey martini today. Thanks for dropping in. Oh, it didn't go off.